Well, happy Sunday, traders. It is Matt and JC with Empire Algorithmic Trading here to bring you VWAP Vision Stock Talk Weekly Review right after 4th of July.
It's where we use the volume weighted average price to make sense of the market, and it's a pretty darn good one, Matt. So we got a lot to talk about, man. Let's get a little weekly review on. God, that's kind of hard to say. Weekly review.
Weekly Review. All right, Jace. Hey, happy Sunday after 4th of July. How was your America Day?
It was great, man. It was a lot of fun. I took the week off, had spent some quality time with my son, and it was a lot of fun watching the fireworks in the area. And it was just nice having a little bit of quiet time. But I'm ready to get back to it, man. It was a heck of a week. How about yourself?
4th of July was fantastic. Got to, exercise my right to blow stuff up, which I always enjoy doing. So I didn't lose anything, so I'm happy with that, and I'm ready to get back into it. So let's jump in. How was the week in stocks?
Hmm. It was pretty good, man. Obviously the S&P 500 just continued to roll. Same thing with the Nasdaq Composite. It was interesting. Tuesday, we're going to roll the clock back a little bit since we're doing weekly review here, but Tuesday was an interesting day in both the S&P and the Nasdaq. As everything kind of sold off except for the small caps opened down and rallied up hard. But this teeny little dip played a lot of
Wow.
havoc on growth stocks. It was pretty wild to see. But after that, it just everything recovered and off to the races we were going. So it was a pretty good short holiday week. Unfortunately, the bonds did sell off, which is kind of what you would expect when we're adding a couple $1 trillion to the debt. That's probably going to see some bonds. So that's going to be a little bit of a caution flag moving forward, something we're going to keep an eye on. And then, of course, the VIX came down, which is, of course, always that we want to see. So it's nice to see that. But all in all, as far as the general averages go, it was a great week.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's always fun to see when things are winning, when everybody's making money hand over fist around you. Now, speaking of hand over fist, speaking of big winners, this next part we always like to talk about our big breakouts. So these are stocks that our algorithm has sent to us as either breakouts or failures in the past. So, Jace, who are our big movers?
Well, we had it was like I said, it was an interesting week. We're going to start off, we're going to go back a little bit to Tuesday here. And so on Tuesday, there were a lot of leading stocks that just broke hard for the first time in a
Wow.
while. Like Roblox was down 4.3%. Credo was down over 5% on Tuesday. Oklo ended up breaking down below support, down almost 7.5%. Vertiv Financial down 4.5%. I'm sorry, Vertiv Holdings down 4.5%. These were all pretty sudden, jarring moves. Tempus, after round tripping its potential breakout, continued to break down below support. Same thing with Rubrik. Rubrik was looking like it was starting to base out, kind of maybe come alive a little bit. It also sold off a little bit hard. Similar pattern. It was trying to come alive a little bit, flash a potential buy signal. It sold off hard. ARM Holdings, a similar factor. It was rallying very nicely, but it sold off hard. So there was a pretty common theme to Tuesday. Fortunately, and take a look at Neogene Biosciences, NAGE, and
Wow.
of course Hinge, HNGE, sold off
Oof.
12.5%. So it was an interesting way to start the week, especially after Monday looked pretty strong. A lot of growth stocks rallied hard. They just got punched in the face. But when you take a look at the averages, it was a very mild, quiet day. So that got you thinking, like, what is
Very
going on here?
good.
Usually the leaders, they lead, right? So is there something going on underneath? Well, fortunately, there were plenty of other stocks that stepped in. Irene Holdings, for example, or Irene Limited, excuse me, it broke out and continued to rally up. It was up 4% on Friday alone. For the week, it was up 20% for the week. AAOI
Wow.
was up 9.3%. It broke out again. It's made another move. I'm sorry. It tried to break out, kind of tested the 10-day moving average, and it has since rallying hard. AMSC up 1.8% for the week. It was up 9.5%. So as you can see, there were Carvana up 9% for the week. Symbotic up 28% on the week. It was
Wow.
a breakout last week. It just rallied crazy on Friday, up
Yeah.
13.5%. For the week, it was up 28%. Upstart
Wow.
Financial, another breakout. It was up 16.3%. BYRN, that one rallied. It was up 5.1%. And then Reddit was up 9.8%. It broke out a couple of weeks ago as well. And then Seagate Technologies, a breakout from last week, it was up 5.6% for the week. So even though there were some stocks that were starting to sell off and that were starting to break down after the significant runs, there were some new leaders coming around and really exploding up. So that's a very comforting thing to see. It's that rotation you're looking for. And then to play
Yeah.
that out even further, you need stocks coming up on the deck as well. And there's plenty of those. You have Wanbao, YB. This one's setting up very nicely.
Wow.
Transmedic, after a nice solid run, breaking its 10 and 20-day average. This is what we're seeing a lot of. We're seeing a lot of stocks that were running up that flashed some early sell signals. They're not completely collapsing. They're holding. They're starting to tighten up a little bit. They're setting up again for another potential run. And this is what's going to sustain this rally in the general market or stocks like this. It's almost picture perfect, really, with what is going on, what we are seeing. Stocks holding support at their 10 or their 20-day. They're not giving up these massive runs. They're actually holding onto their gains, and they're setting up very nicely for moves higher. And then as they're setting up, we're seeing the stocks that weren't ready to go yet. They've set up nicely, and we're getting potential breakouts. As you can see, you've got Gorilla Tech, GRRR. It's holding up nicely.
Grr.
908 Devices, that's holding right at the 20-day moving average. It went on a wicked run, and it's just trading sideways after what's looking like a potential sell signal. It's tightening up, and it's finding some support. Soundhound, it's basing out nicely. It's starting to come alive a little bit. Starting to look like it's forming a nice little uptrend that could potentially create a breakout when it breaks that VWAP. Viva Systems, again, it break out and it's trading sideways. It's starting to hit that 20 and 10-day moving average. It's coming alive. It's looking really tight. Robinhood is continuing to just roll. There's just nothing wrong with Robinhood. It was a
Yeah.
breakout for us back at 48. It's currently at 94.40. So this is a really solid. It's hard to look at that chart and go, man, that market it's not a good spot. We're starting to get into the place where people are going that didn't trust it, that were afraid, are now going to be like, man, I need to start getting here. So you're going to start getting the FOMOs right now. We do have a lot of potential breakouts, a lot of stocks setting up. When that happens, we do tend to get a flush. It kind of is weird. You tend to. I've kind of learned whenever we get big gains like this in the watch list, they tend to flush out pretty hard. So just be wary of that. But overall, it's just going to be a shakeout, right? This is a rolling market. What we're going to be concerned about is the bond market. That's a headwind and potential earnings. What companies are going to say? The second quarter just closed. So earnings are start coming out in earnest, and what they say about the economy moving forward. But historically, where we're at in the cycle, we've got a really good run ahead of us here. Just not only just on the presidential cycle, this is kind of following historically what happens. But when you look back at the last time we broke out to all-time highs, we went on a nice 9-10% run before any serious corrections. So this thing has the potential to just starting. Don't be afraid of any potential shakeouts. Just follow your rules. Stick with what's working. Buy the breakouts. Anything that reverses the very next day, breaks the low of the breakout day, trades down 3.5% or more, is an immediate sell. After that, it's just take your profits, build some cushion, and let the stocks do what they're supposed to do. Give you an opportunity to write out those some of those volatile pullbacks to write out some extended gains.
Absolutely. And how exciting is it that there has been that many different breakouts sent to us by the algo? And hey, if you want access to this algorithm, make sure you subscribe over on our Patreon, patreon.com/Empire Algorithmic Trading. You get access to the daily buy and sell signals that are hand selected by our algorithm. You also get access to some educational videos. And Jason and I tell you how we use the algorithm in our own trading strategies and what we do with that there. If you want to learn more about who we are and what we do, check out our website, VWAPvision.com. That's VWAP Vision.com. For those watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, really appreciate you being here. If you would be so kind to leave a quick little review, rate us, hit the like, hit the follow, make sure that you join us daily for Stock Talk here. And otherwise, follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, anywhere that you have your stock information or digest your media. We like to be a part of it as well. You can find some little freebies and fun trader tips there and there, which is always a nice thing. But that being said, Jace, thank you for weekly review here on VWAP Vision Stock Talk. And as always, happy trading.
Happy trading, Matt. We'll see you during your review. It's a
See
good
you
one.
then.
All right.
Yeah.